Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is DERECZANKA. This is a new map by Pavelk 20. It is 219.1 megabytes download. This map has got Polish atmosphere. That's what it says in the mods hub. It's modelled on real life. I'm on New Farmer. And I'm on normal economy, how I always do my map tours. Where do we start on the map? We start down here. At the main store, something to note when you zoom out, that's a lot of fields. It does say on the mods hub, it does say, welcome to DERECZANKA. This is a 2048 by 2048 map. That's standard size. On console, we get a standard map size. Because I read that and straight away in my mind I'm thinking, is that bigger than normal? That's standard? But we get a lot of fields. If you come onto this on New Farmer, we start with various different animal pens. The main farm, I say the main farm, your start farm is up here. This is where all your machinery is. So we're going to go up to there to the northeast in a minute. But because we start down here, we'll have a look at the shop, we'll have a look at the sell point here. There's a pig farm here. Now, weirdly, of all the animal farms, this one you don't own to start off with. It's 86,328 to buy. You'll see as we go round, and I'm going to be honest, the map will need an update. You'll understand why. Field prices aren't too bad. Some of them are singular, but there are plots on some of them because you can only have, I'm sure it's 60 buyable. Well, every single one I've clicked on now has been singular, hasn't it, typically? But I'm sure you can only have 60. Oh, how have they got around that? There's about 121 plots. The periphery of the map is free. You can get onto it partially in places. There is a kind of border, so whether it's going to be usable or not, potentially. There aren't many sell points. We have got the GS, the scoop, and the spinnery. Biogas plant is purchasable, which is up here. That's 21,456. If you do buy it, it's a regular biogas plant. Doesn't take anything extra like sugar cane or wood chips or potatoes or sugar beet or anything like that. It is a standard biogas plant. So what we're going to do from here, this is the main store. Now, we've got a main road that kind of runs up across the map. And then a big chunk of the map goes that way with a couple of rivers. The road network is such that you have to drive a fair way to kind of get to it all. Sorry, I keep referring back to the map. But you can get to it down this way and you cross over. This is more like a drainage ditch than a river. And then you can come further over. But there's not a crossing point here. There are some roads. To get all the way up to this bit, you have to come right up to the northeast of the map, and there's a road that runs down here. Now, of course, you can cut across directly across the map if you want to, but a big chunk of the map is all down this side. But there are no sell points or anything down this part of the map. So that's going to be one of those things that, unless you buy up these sections and start using them, if you start up where your farms are and buy fields up here, you may not have much of an occasion to go down there. I'm not going to go and show a load of that, so that might be a bit you want to actually go and kind of search yourself. And again, you'll see why as we go around. Now, I like the slightly muted colour palette. Some of the Polish maps you've had, I've really liked this. It's not too bright. It's not, sometimes you get some maps and it's a little bit almost cartoony, comic booky. It can be a little bit bright and colourful. This has got a sort of dulled down, muted colour palette. That being said, the light on here, when I first came on, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought, oh, that's nice, you've got a bit of a haze in the morning. As I skipped through time when I was having a quick look around the map, it doesn't really, it kind of stays a little bit like this. You don't really get a kind of blue sky and a bright sun. It seems a little bit kind of hazy all the time, which as I drove round a bit more, it starts to feel a little bit oppressive. Does that sound right? You kind of, not that it gets you down, but after a while you're like, whoa, it's I don't know, it feels very wintry a lot of the time, I think. That's just my own personal opinion. There are no custom crops on this map. It's standard crop types. Contracts are available. It does say it's seasons ready and a lot more. There will be precision farming standard soil map, I would imagine. It doesn't say there's a custom one. It does say scripts. I'm not sure what scripts. This is the main store. I have taken the liberty of leasing a pickup. That's why my money's not quite on 100,000. This is a small store area. This map is going to be for small to medium machinery. You are not going to get larger stuff out of here. This is also the reset point. And when we go around, and we'll see at the farms as well, they're not large farm areas. So this is not going to be, unless you keep your farm machinery out of the sort of main farm areas, maybe set up a sort of field area for storing your vehicles, maybe, you know, again, it's possible. I like the landscape on here. I like the way it's laid out. It's a slightly different looking map, you know. There's a lot of detail on it. On New Farmer, it's 400 slots out of 1299, which isn't too bad. It's also 400 on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch. There's a couple of noticeable differences, and I will explain those as we go around. First of the sell points is literally just there. We look on the map. That's the store. GS is right next to us. GS is for, I'm pretty sure it was eggs and milk. Yeah, eggs and milk is the GS sell point. We've then got Scoop and we've got Spinnery, which we will get to later on. If we go one more over, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up to the northeast, and I'm going to start from there and work my way back down, because otherwise it's kind of backwards and forwards across the map. Now, some of these yards, most of these yards feel very claustrophobic. As you can see, this is the first of the. This is the pig farm you don't own. I say this is the first one. This is the first one I'm looking at, and this is where this gets a little bit more peculiar. In that each of the farms does have a grain silo. It's the only mod that the map maker has included is a grain silo. All the rest of the stuff in the placeables menu, unless you put in your own mods, of course, are just standard in-game giant stuff. But what we'll do is whiz up here first. So right at the back here, we've got a bit of building space, and we've got, I think it's this one here, the grain silos. Each grain silo holds 100,000 litres and does regular grain types. But something very noticeable as I went around all of it, there's no lighting in any of the buildings, and in some of these areas it is very dark. And I know there are a lot of people that don't like the maps with when the shadow is very dark. There are lots of areas on this map and some of the farmyards that just don't get light, none at all. And the barns and buildings, personally, I think could really do with some lighting, because you can't, you know, that's with these trees and stuff here, even with the sun going across that way all the way over, this is not going to get any light on it. So, I mean, that's one thing that is kind of in the cons sort of list, I guess. Next is this: when you come onto our new farmer, the animal pens are all on here. There are a few little sketchy bits here and there. Like I said, it's probably going to need an update. Now, on new farmer, I'm sure it's about here. We've got a trigger for our pigs at this pig farm. This one will take 10 pigs. And I say it will take 10 pigs. You're just going to work now, you watch. If I buy a couple and confirm, it's just taking the money away. I have those pigs. Question is, and again, there's no lighting in any of these buildings. Where are they? Because I can't find them. Which brings me on to the next thing as well. Feed troughs, water troughs. I honestly have no idea at this point where they are. That's not the most concerning thing. If I now go here and go across to animals, it says you have no pens or animals yet. I just got charged for 2 pigs. So that's a bit worrying. If we go back to the map, there's definitely a pen there. There's one there. And those ones we own. We've got sheep there. We've got pigs and cows there. We've got chickens there. And it's saying I don't own any animal pens. Now, it could be because I don't have any animals in them. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it's because I don't own this bit of land. Maybe. Is that what could be causing it? So I came on and I bought it. I did it anyway. Still no pigs. Nothing popped up. But here's where it gets even weirder. If you come onto this map on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, the slot count is still 400 because you still have all your start machinery, but there are no animal pens. And they're not in the mods. So that's it. If you come onto here on anything other than New Farmer, there are no animal pens. That could be a blessing and a curse because it means that it gives you free reign then to place them wherever you like, do whatever you want with them. There's also no fixed sleep trigger. There's not one on the map when you start. It does give you the scope to put your sleep trigger, a placeable one from the mod hub, wherever you like, which is good. I like that. What I'm going to do now then, I'm going to close that. So yeah, the animal pen thing, when we go around I'll show you where they all are and I'll tell you what the capacities are. If it gets an update and those get fixed, then potentially great, all good. It's just, I just think because they're so tight and close in, the feed, water and bedding triggers aren't that clear. That could be a bit of an issue. But then, like I say, if you come on here on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, the animal pens aren't there anyway, so it doesn't matter. And just to double check, I want to go into this one. Go to animal pens. If we scroll right across, there are no modded ones. But here's the other thing. In checking the map out, I bought a plot of land. I placed a chicken coop. It allowed me to buy chickens, and they came up in the animals menu. So it's not that the livestock thing's not working. Before anyone says, you've probably got the Placeable Factories mod installed. When I do my map tours, I have no mods enabled or selected. I come on here, the only thing I have is Disable Vehicle Camera Collision. I don't have any other mods when I do a map tour. So it's not the factory's pack or anything like that that's causing it. I think it might just be an issue with this. So I'm going to see you in a minute. Other end of the map. We'll work our way back down, take in the other farms and sell points. Okay, pretty much in the northeast corner of the map. We are now all the way up here. Now, as I said earlier, that road runs down and takes you across that river. And actually, you know what we'll do? Let's just whiz down. We won't go all the way down there, but we'll cross over because this is a slightly bigger river. The other river is, like I say, more of a drainage ditch. This one is more of a river. So to cross this larger river, this is the bridge to cross it. Because I would imagine that's going to be deep enough that you're going to lose vehicles and stuff potentially. So there's a whole load of the map down this side, with no sell points or anything like that. That's, you know, that's all here to be explored. This bit here is a bit of marshland. Like I say, I don't want to be a downer on the map. You know, apart from the animal trigger thing, the lights in the buildings, you know, could be an issue for some people. The map itself is really nicely laid out. And like I said, I do like the colour palette a lot. The lighting, you know, you could live with it. I don't know. You know, I think you'd get to a point you'd be kind of longing for a bright sunny day maybe. I don't know, but, you know, it's a nice map. Just the animal trigger thing's a bit of a problem. So, right. But like I say, New Farmer and Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that's not an issue anyway. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this kind of thing. They don't like the kind of clutter. They don't like loads of buildings and loads of fences and stuff, but it really is just along this road. So this is the biogas plant, tucked away. It's not a very large biogas plant. There's a few bits and bobs here. One bunker silo. It's quite tight. There's not a lot of room. We've got a ramp section up to the cell bit just here. But as you can see, the lighting, the way it is, we have got a lot of darkness. We've got a lot of shadow. And then we've got the digestate tank for your byproduct just there. We'll go along the road a little bit further and we come to the, what I'm saying is the start farm, only because it's where your machinery is. Like I say, there's no sleep trigger, so It's just kind of where your start machinery is located. It's difficult to tell where they are because it just looks like a regular house. Where are we? Let's pull up across the road here. It's probably not far enough off the road, but never mind. Right, we open this gate here. He says, there we go. Washing out the front. It's a bit overgrown, and again, it's very tight. You're not going to get big machinery in and out of here. But in these buildings here is where all your machinery is that you start with. Again, no lighting. And this is also where your chickens are. And your chicken buy point and sell point is just here. This will hold 30 chickens. But again, if I buy a couple and confirm, come up to the menu, scroll across. Apparently, I don't have any. The feed trigger for the chickens is just here. And the, well, if you ever have any, like I say, if it gets updated and sorted, then it won't be a problem. That's where your egg boxes are going to go. And then you've also got another silo here. I'm not quite sure what that is. It's difficult. I was doing the, if you didn't see it, I was on the Farm Sim show with DJ Goham and Cut Simulations yesterday. And we were talking about mods and mod reviews and map tours and that kind of thing. And I will always try and find the positives. I will always highlight the negatives. I will see, you know, if there's a negative. Say negative's a horrible word. Pros and cons, I guess. And sometimes you go around the map and you look and you think, oh, how do you put this across? You know, because people are going to see this straight away and go, well, you know, that's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. Oh, there's no way I'm doing that. You know. But the problem is, it's things like that that you think, oh man. Anyway, we'll open the back door here, because what you do get is 36 bales. I think it's 36, maybe. I did bring up a telehandler off camera and check it out, and yes, you can pick them up, and yes, they do have a capacity. There are 36 bales that you start with. There you go, load of straw bales. Happy days. Do these open? Doesn't look like it. So, as far as start machinery goes, and you start with the same machinery on all 3 game modes. The same 408 slots there, because I've got the pickup that I leased. So we start with the Stara ST Max, the Fendt Favorite 511. We've got a Bison Super. We've got an SEK 802 Stratman trailer, header for the Bison. We've got a cultivator, we've got a seeder, and then we've got the 4 grain silos. Now, if you sell everything, you can get the slot count down to 326. However, I couldn't sell these because that actual grain silo is just the small bit which is inside this building. And if you try and sell them, it will show you the building, but because you can't actually get to these bits, you can't get rid of them. But again, it's not the end of the world. They're not taking up a huge amount of slots, but I'm just pointing it out. So that's your sort of start farm with chickens. Everything caused to pile up, so that's good. We shall continue on. I just like, you know, that's what I'm saying. You look across, it's like the landscape looks amazing, and I love that long sweep out across the countryside. It just might need a bit of tweaking, I think. Right, we'll pull up by the side of the road just here, and we will hop out, because what we've got here is the next of the farms. Now, again, slightly the triggers don't marry up with what is showing on the map, but it's a minor thing at this point. This is your trigger for your cows. This will hold 10 cows, but again, at the moment they're not showing up. We have got feed water troughs. We've got straw point, and I'm assuming this is where your milk comes from. It could be manure. It could be slurry. There's no like milk containers, churns, whatever. So yeah, I'm not sure because it doesn't show. There's no point for slurry. Not that I can tell. We do have another silo in here, just there. And this side, sorry, I'm having to put the torch on. It's just because without it, so you know. This side is another pig farm. This will hold 10 pigs. Again, troughs, water maybe, feed, no. Feeds this side maybe, water this side maybe. As for where the bedding goes, potentially that one. You know, again, until you can actually get some animals to be in them and available, that's not going to be possible to sort out. But you can put your sleep trigger wherever you like. Across the road, we have got the next of the sell points. This is Scoop, I think. Let me check the map. So we come from biogas plant, the start farm. We've done this bit here. Yeah, Scoop. So we've got the Scoop sell point. Scoop is your kind of main sell point, your cereal crop type sell point. That's interesting. And something I was going to point out, which I've only just noticed that, is if we go further along, there's no pricing there for wood chip. There's also no barn sell point, so there's also no prices along there for bales for grass, hay, straw, anything like that. And I've just noticed there's no price on there for oats either. Okay. On any of the sell points. Now you can add sell points in, but again, it's one of those things off the start of a map. You'd think there would be somewhere to sell everything. At least I would have thought there would have been. So that's the Scoop sell point. And then it's just a little bit further along, isn't it? We've got the animal dealer. And again, weirdly, the animal dealer will say that. Where's the turn in? I think it's this one just here. It's quite tight. Again, you're not going to get large stuff in and out of here. Quite unassuming, and again, you wouldn't necessarily know where the triggers are. But there it is. If I click on it, look, you don't have a pen for this animal type. I do. I think I've got 3 of them for pigs. Or apparently I have. Anyway, that's the livestock market. And then we're going to go to the sheep. I think it's the sheep farm next. Pretty sure. Pull up by the side of the road just here. So, tucked away behind here. We go around. I mean, I could have come in from the gateway off the main road. We've got a farmhouse. Again, without a trigger. Your trigger here is for your sheep. This will, if it works and when it works, hold 8 sheep. We have got a trigger inside for water. There's a trigger here for feed. I'm assuming they're going to be in here, I guess. And then I'm pretty sure the wool pallets. Oh, I didn't show you the egg. Did I? On the other one? Oh yeah, I did know that. I think that's where your sheep's eggs are going to be here. Your wool pallets are going to spawn there. And then we've got another. I think we've got another silo. Oh no, this is the one that doesn't have a silo. So we've got a building here. Again, drive through with loads of rubble and. Maybe they do a demolition business in their spare time. Sheep and demolitions. Maybe it's demolition sheep, who knows? So, I honestly don't know. I'm losing my mind. Right, from here. continuing on, so we go right back along the road. I think we come to, what's next? Fuel station and spinnery, I think, is the next along the road. Probably could have got past. And then what we'll do, we'll whiz right way past where we started, the store, and then we'll go down to the sawmill and the last of the pig farms. Where are we? I will pull up here. So, fuel point is just here. I'm assuming that was on purpose. I don't know. Was that on purpose, you reckon? That would drive me mad, having that sat back and not in line with the other two. Anyway, this is a fuel point. And then opposite, we've got the spinnery. What made me kind of smile, I think, with the spinnery. So you've got the spinnery sell point is up here. So you've got all this wall that's just been kind of piled up. It looks like it's been either abandoned or just the people that run it just do not look after the place. Because when you get up here, look at this. It's like, yeah, just take the wall pallets up the back. It's fine, no problem. And whoever was doing it thought, I've got two choices here. I can stack these up neatly, or let's play wall pallet catapults. Anyway, the sell point is just here. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been on a map and seen anything like that before. Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, assuming, of course, it was supposed to be like that, and it wasn't supposed to be all neatly stacked, and just the conversion over to consoles made that go, nah, you know what? Let's just fall over a lot. So, I will see you in a minute, and I'll show you where we are on the map when we get there. So we're passing where we started. Here, that's the store, that's the GS sell point, and that's the little first pig farm we looked at. Well, it's not really a farm, but pig pen. Have I just missed the turning? I have. This turning here will take us to the sawmill. So I said there's no price for wood chips, and that's what's odd, because when you come all the way down here, we come to the sawmill. There is a trigger, which baffles me. But like I also said, there are a few areas on the map that I think it's going to need an update, because we've got clipping of fields into roads, and there's a few bits and bobs here and there. Bit of landscaping, you know. I've used the word clunky before. There's a few bits, and that's what's such a weird thing with this map, because loads of it, like I said, you look out across the landscape and the scenery and it looks wonderful, but then there's a few little bits here and there that you think, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. So we've got a lumber sell point. It's just here, and then we have got a trigger here because it's marked with the little hazard tape stuff for wood chips, but there's no wood chip price on the menu. So whether it's just the price is missing and it will still sell, or you'll sell but then won't get anything for them, it's a bit of an odd one, that. So back out from here, and then we're going to head along and down to, which should be over there somewhere, the last pig farm that we start with on New Farmer. I mean, somebody did comment on one of my map tours a while back, and it is a pretty good kind of rule of thumb to go with. That, and again, we were talking about this on the Farm Sim show, how difficult it is for map makers to get their maps to console. The hoops they have to jump through, the things they have to do, the changes to coding and scripting and all those kind of things that have to be done to get their maps to console. And somebody said, oh, you know, I will never play on a map as soon as it comes out. I will always wait at least a couple of weeks, if not a month, because inevitably there will be an update. And the thing is, yeah, that's often the case, you know. You'll get most maps, there will be an update. Because as I've said before, talking to Alien GM and other, you know, map makers and modders, they can do all the coding. They can do everything on paper that says, yes, this will work on console, and it will go through testing, and all the coding will be tested, and it will be checked, and it's like, yeah, this is all good. Until it actually pops up on console, a lot of those map makers that make their maps on PC Don't know what may be wrong with it, or any texture issues, or so when it pops up on the mod hub for the first time, can often be the first time these problems come to light. And then then it goes away and they have a bit of a feel with it and they come back and it gets sort of fixed, hopefully. As you saw, another little bit of clipping part of the field onto the road there. It's unfortunate. There's another couple of bits up here as well. So this is the last of the pig farms that we start with. The trigger is here. This will also hold 10, but this worried me a little bit. Oh, was it this side? Yeah, it's this one here. I was looking for feed triggers. So yeah, I mean, like I say, off the back of what I was just talking about. We have also got another silo here. I would say another thing I did, because I jumped in here on Farm Manager. And where are we? So we've come past all the way along here, all the way along here, all the way. We did the sawmill, we've come down this road, and we are now sitting right here. I jumped directly to the farm silo, and it put me inside the building. But inside the building, it wouldn't give me a trigger on this one. The other ones seem okay. This one doesn't have triggers on the inside to open the doors, so I was stuck in here. I had to then obviously tab out to a vehicle, but it works from the outside at this one. But again, it's just so you know. And then from here, what I'm going to do is just whiz down. I'll show you that kind of washout drainage ditch and another part of the rest of the map. That is the sell points. That's the farms, what we kind of start with. But then, like I say, there's a whole load of the map down this way that, depending on which route you take and depending what areas of the map you're farming, you wouldn't necessarily go to. I think sometimes it's nice just to have a sell point or a trigger or something on a part of the map like that, because it kind of forces people to go there. It forces people to parts of the map that they wouldn't necessarily go to. Now, I know that can be a little bit contrived sometimes, and you think, oh yeah, but really, would you? Even like the sawmill or something like that, just having that over that side of the map, so you then kind of going that way, I don't know. But yeah, we cross over here, and it's as the river was with that big bridge further up, this one's a little bit more of a kind of washout. So if you did want to kind of go cross country for this first bit, you probably could. But this river drainage ditch runs southwest to northeast, and as we go further across the map, we come to the bigger river, which you need bridges to cross. And what I was going to show you was what I was talking about earlier. There's one that runs off that way, and there's all this map, all this side, all over here. Because I think we get to the edge of the map before we get to a bridge to cross here, which is a little bit frustrating considering the road continues. Yeah. So, according to the map, we've come down here, crossed here and round here. So the road is there and carries on up there. If only this bit had gone across here, you could use this as a join up to this part of the map without having to go all the way around there and all the way back down again. I don't know. It's a few little things like that. So, in conclusion, it has its pros, it has its cons. Do the pros outweigh the cons? That's for you to decide. All I'm doing is showing you what's here, showing you the map, showing you the textures, the lighting, all those kind of things. Whether you decide to play on any of the maps that I show you is entirely up to you. But that's the map. That's DERECZANKA by Pavelk20. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, or even if you haven't, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.